Hey, I'm Teresa, and I've been a solo mom for over 12 years. And today I am going to convince you to pack up your kids and go camping in the woods. Yes, you're going to create amazing lifelong memories, and you're going to go on adventures, and you're going to have the time of your life. And I'm going to talk you through it. And if you have fears about doing this, I'm going to address those towards the end. So stick around for that. And I'm just here to tell you your family is going to become an awesome team, and your kids are going to make their friends jealous that they don't have you for a mom. Yeah. So if you're a solo parent in whatever form, this channel is for you. And if you stop staring at my head long enough to find the subscribe button, you'll be guaranteeing yourself future goodness. And why would you not do that? So if you've wandered in and you're currently not a single parent, well, I'll bet you know somebody who is, and you're welcome to share this content with them and to watch it yourself. So this is part 2 of a 4-part series where we're looking at unique ideas for creating rhythm and memories throughout the year. And the reason I included camping is because it just might change your family dynamics. I believe in it that much. And I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to share all of my pro tips for how to get started from me, a mom who's been camping with her kid for over 10 years now. So solo families are awesome. You're in charge. No one can stop you from deciding to head out to the woods or do anything else. So have fun, make the most of it. Heck, I painted my kitchen pink just because I could. So there you go. Do what you want. Have fun with it. All right, so let's talk about something that has created so many fun and lasting, awesome memories for my little family, and that is camping. So why is camping awesome? Well, number one, it's really great for kids of all ages. I started camping with my kid when she was 4, I believe. And we've done it every year since. And we like to go camping in the spring. I'll talk more about that later. But it's like such a fun time of year for us. And I guess I say it's awesome for kids of all ages with an asterisk. Okay, so if you're a mom of like a 2-year-old and a baby in diaper, like an infant baby, like please don't go camping by yourself in the woods. Like you're not going to have fun. That's not a good setup. But if your youngest is out of diapers, or if you have an older sibling that can help with the baby who's in diapers, then it's still for you. Like I totally have friends that go camping with me. They've done it with a baby in a diaper. It's totally possible to do that. It does depend on where you go and who's with you to help, I guess I would say. So, I mean, obviously, camping is awesome for kids of all ages with some like asterisk, some limitations put on that. But you're smart. You're going to know like when is the right time. Okay. So here's the thing about camping. Like your kid is going to love it no matter how old they are. Like I have a 14-year-old. She's not tired of it. She's not going to be tired of it when she's 16. She's not going to be tired of it when she's 26. Okay. Camping is just fun. It's fun for everybody. And it's because it creates this shared sense of adventure as a unit, as a family. Like, you know, you're going out and you're doing something that's unpredictable. You never know 100% exactly what you're going to do when you go out there, what you're going to see, what exactly you're going to experience. And that's part of the adventure of it, right? Like you don't know who's going to be in the campsite next to you. You don't know what animals you might see that time, like what birds you might see. You don't know which hike you're going to choose to do. But it's all like this adventure, right? Like whatever it is you choose to do out there, there's this sense of adventure that goes along with it. And along with adventure, inevitably come problems that have to be overcome. Don't run away. Okay, so here's the thing. They're not huge problems. You're not going to go out there and die, I promise. I'm here to tell you that's not what's going to happen. It's not going to be terrible or awful, but there are going to be little things that you forgot to bring something and you have to improvise. You have to overcome. You have to work together as a team. You forget to bring your roasting sticks for roasting hot dogs over the fire, so you end up having to find sticks and like whittle the ends or whatever. Like it's the kind of thing that it just brings you together as a family, because together you face these problems and you overcome them, and they're little problems. That's what you want. You want like little challenges to overcome as a team together. And camping is a pretty good way to come up with at least one or two of those each time. You're gonna totally shake up your boring life, right? You're gonna get off your screens. I mean, you'd better get off your screens when you go out to the woods, right? Like, it doesn't mean you can't bring them with or have them if you need them or whatever, but like, you're gonna set them aside. Like, you're not gonna be doing this doom scrolling as you're hiking down a trail with your kid. You're gonna be hiking down a trail with your kid, right? So that's what you want to do. You want to go somewhere different. You want to see something new. You want to have new experiences. This is the way that you do that with your family. And you're going to be together and you're going to be present, because how can you not be when you're like in the woods with your kids or you're on the water with your kids, you know? That's how you make real memories. You don't make memories by like coming home exhausted at the end of every day and like putting on the TV. And believe me, like I do it. Okay. Like I for sure do that. I'm not trying to like be holier than thou or anything like that. Like, I'm a person too, but that's why you go camping, so that you can set that aside and just have adventures and have fun, and like set aside this like unique window of time where you get to create memories with your family that your kids are gonna have these memories forever. They're always gonna be able to come back to these memories, and that's why we keep going year after year after year. I mean, it's one of the reasons. So when you go camping, everybody's on the same team, and I just really believe in the idea of a team when you're a family, and you're probably going to hear me talk about that more like in other videos and other episodes. Like, it doesn't matter if it's just you and one kid. It's just me and my one daughter, like, and we are on the same team, right? And there's something about that when you're working together as a team. It just creates such a strong family bond. It really does. And that's what you want, of course. So, also, when you're out there in the woods, there's freedom. Think about that. Think about how hard it is to get freedom for your kids these days. Everywhere they go, everything they do is scripted. It's like overly sanitized, I guess. Like, I mean, it's gotten to the point where at times it feels like life is not real, right? And I mean, we do some of the things that we do for a reason, right? We want our kids to be safe. We want them to be healthy. We want them to have good educations, all the things. But that doesn't mean that you can't have some freedom, that you can't create freedom for your kids, that they can't go and explore and roam and have wonder and dream and play. They should be doing that. And camping is going to guarantee that. That's the thing. It's going to guarantee it. It's built in. So you're going to create awesome memories. Let me share a few of the memories with you that I've created with my kid. Okay, so on the most recent trip that my daughter and I just went on this spring, we were lucky enough to have a canoe at our disposal, and we took it out into like a giant reservoir lake. So we live in the South, and here in the South, like, all of the lakes seem to be giant water reservoirs. And so we went out into the reservoir, lake, whatever, and paddled around and explored, and we found like an old tree that was like coming up out of the water, in the middle of the water. I don't even know how it got there. And it was just like a dead tree, but there was an osprey nesting in it with her chicks, with her like chicks who were big enough to see and to hear. It was so cool. Like, we just got to sit in the canoe and like observe them like we were some kind of like wildlife people or something. It was the coolest thing. And we got to see like the mama osprey like getting food from the lake and feeding it to her baby chicks. How cool is that? That could never happen. That could not happen if you take your kids to a zoo. That can't happen unless you take your kids out into real places where you can see things like that, right? It was just so cool. So another cool memory that my daughter and I have made is one time we went hiking and camping in a place where there were wild ponies with foals, like in the mountains, like in these big open mountain bald areas. That was, I mean, I was mom of the year, okay? Like, so, and you can like kind of pick and choose where you go camping and what you want to see and what kind of parks you go to, and you can kind of do your research. And that one was definitely like, I researched that one in advance, and that was a trip that we planned, and it was kind of a big trip for us at the time. I mean, I've been a solo mom for a long time. I haven't always had much money. I've definitely been on a super tight budget at times, for sure. But I still was able to make a trip like that happen. Maybe only once a year we could do something like that. And, you know, at first we literally could never have done that. I could never have afforded that the first few years that I was a solo mom. So it's fine. Don't worry about it. Do something local. There's awesome stuff locally too. Like swimming. Okay, most state parks in most parts of the country are going to have some kind of rivers, lakes, streams, shoals, whatever it is. They're going to have some way that you can get in the water or fish or canoe or swim, whatever. I mean, that's, of course, kids love that. Kids love water, right? One time my daughter and I went exploring a stream. We just kind of like decided to leave the beaten path to like leave the trail, and we went and made the stream our trail, and we just hiked up the stream, and it was beautiful. It was amazing. I will never forget those memories. Like, just, I don't know, there's something that just sparkles about some of your memories. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is one of those for us. We have found our own walking sticks, right? Like that we get to use, like, I don't know, carve them or whatever, and just kind of like make our own walking sticks that we go hiking with. We, of course, all of the normal things that you would expect, like campfires, roasting hot dogs, s'mores, hot cocoa, marshmallows, just all of the cool, fun food that you get to make when you're camping. And then it just seems like you're always going to be doing things like seeing the stars at night and the moon and hearing owls or nightingales or whatever you have in your area. We've explored ruins, historical sites. We've gone to like interactive presentations that they have at the park offices. There's just so much to do. I mean, this is the stuff American childhoods are made of, right? I mean, this is the childhood you want for your kid. So, have I talked you into it yet? All right, because now I'm going to tell you how to actually do it. All right, so my assumption here is that you have never camped before. And so I'm going to make this as easy for you as possible and direct you to like the best places to go, more or less. If you've camped before, maybe not with kids, then you might already know some of this information. That's okay. This is your refresher. Go camp with your kids. All right, bring them. Why would you keep that for yourself? Like, definitely take the kids. All right, so where should you go? So I'm going to answer the who, what, when, where, why, how long. And then after that, we'll talk about some fears that you might have. So where should you go? If this is your first time, you should go to a local state park. And there are several reasons why you should do that. Do you hear that noise? That's my cat. Let me just show you. Hi. Hi, Apollo. Oh my goodness. He's a kitten. He's like 4. Oh, and there's Chester. Hi, Chester. Okay. Bye. Okay. I'm back. Hopefully they don't interrupt again. I don't know. If you want to know if you're truly loved and needed, get yourself a couple kittens. Just go adopt a couple of kittens. Like, your life will be over. Okay, but you will be loved. All right. So anyways, state parks. Why do you want to pick a local state park? Number one, it's safe. It's going to be like truly a safe option, and here's why. There's going to be other people around at the other campsites. There's going to be law enforcement present Did you know that park rangers are law enforcement? Okay, they're keeping the peace. You're gonna see them driving around in their trucks around the campsites, making sure everything is okay, making sure everybody's safe, um, just checking on everyone. And honestly, state parks are gonna be filled with two sets of people: families who are camping and retired folks in their RVs. That's who you're gonna find in a state park. So it's honestly, it's easy, it's safe. There are going to be bathrooms right like somewhere near your campsite, and you can even choose a campsite that's really close to the bathrooms if that's important to you. You don't want to have to walk a long way in the middle of the night. I don't. So I always pick somewhere close to the bathrooms. And they have showers. Like you can shower, you can do whatever you need to do. They have sinks there usually where you can like wash dishes. Okay, like it just makes it so easy if you have kids. State parks are local, obviously. Like it's in your state, and there's probably one that's not that far away from you. The one that my daughter and I love the most and have been to the most is just like 40 minutes from our town. And we just love it there. It's not even like there's anything spectacular. It's not a national park, but there's plenty to do. And we've had fun over the years just exploring all of the different trails and trying out all the different things and renting canoes. And, you know, we have such great memories there. It's like Christmas almost, where you just want to have the same Christmas year after year, right? Like you don't need to like make that more special. It's special enough, right? And then it's inexpensive, right? So our local state park, for as long as I've been going there, they haven't changed the prices. I mean, knock on wood, right? But it's like $35 a night plus a $5 a day parking fee. So it's $40 a night, and that includes electricity at the campsite so that you can like, I don't know what you need to do with that, charge a smartphone or something, charge your phone, and I guess run like some little like camping lamps or something if you don't have the battery kind. I've never really used the electric a lot. But there's also going to be water right there at your campsite so that you can easily get water to drink, to cook, to wash up, whatever you want to do. Also, you know, most state parks, they're fun, right? Like there are going to be trails, there's going to be water, there's going to be a park office. It may have exhibits inside. There are probably cool little like magnets and stuff that they sell, things that you can look at. And they'll have ideas. There's going to be park rangers in there and folks that work there who are going to be able to help you to have the best experience. They're there to help, like they want you to have a good time, right? And also at state parks, if you happen to have pets, like I obviously do, I also have a dog. Like at this moment in time, I have two naughty little kittens with their naughty little mittens, and I have one dog who is much more well-behaved than the kittens. So we like to take our dog with, obviously, when we go camping, and he's welcome, right? Dogs are welcome on a leash as long as they're like reasonably well-behaved. My dog doesn't even like other dogs. He doesn't like other dogs at all, and we're fine. Like, we just keep him at our campsite on a leash, like you would think. You know, he's always with one of us, so we have a great time. And so he comes back tired, and that's great too. He's happy. He loves nothing more than to go camping. So when would be the time to go camping? Well, that totally depends on where you live and what you like and what kind of weather you enjoy, and what the best time of year in your area is. So here where I live in the south, the middle of summer, we could go camping. I don't really want to. That's just not my idea of fun, like being super hot all the time, too hot maybe to sleep at night. But we love, love, love to go in the spring. It's my favorite time of year to go because I'm basically celebrating the end of winter, which is nothing but misery for me, even here in the South. I grew up in the North and will never live there again. I'm sorry if you live there. It is so beautiful up north. Parts of the North are beautiful. I love to go there to see family and to visit. I would totally go camping there. Like, I mean, yes. Like, I grew up in the northern Midwest to kind of give you more information. But I'm just a baby when it comes to the cold. I would rather be out in the middle of a southern summer than in the middle of a winter in the South, like, which is not that bad. But I'm not gonna do cold, right? So for me, that one is out, even though you totally could, in the South. They would love to have you in the wintertime camping at their sites, and it would be less busy. That would be another thing. So what's the busiest time of year where you live? I mean, think about it. You probably know, is it a touristy area? Is it not? What's the weather like? When are there insects? When do you have a mosquito problem in your area? Is that like a thing? It's not really as big of a deal where I live and where I go camping. But like where I grew up north near lakes, it could be. It might be more of an issue. So just think about those things and kind of choose wisely. The fall is usually a great time of year almost everywhere, right? So that might be a good time if you're wanting to go for the first time. Spring is probably good too. A little less busy, right? Maybe good weather. So, but you'll figure it out. Now, how are you going to go? This one's more complicated than you would think. So there are a lot of different ways to go camping. I think what comes to mind is tent camping. And that is definitely what I did with my kid with a tiny little tent for years. And it worked. We had our dog. It was fine. It was great. It worked for a long time for us. I just happened to already have that tent. It was like a 2-person tent. It was easy to set up. It was lightweight. It worked. It was great. Later we got a larger tent because she was getting bigger. And she wasn't a little kid anymore and she wanted more space. So, eventually we had better finances and resources and I could invest in a bigger tent. And so we did that for years. I have gone camping at state parks in my car. Like they will probably let you do that. I had an SUV and I would sleep in the back of the SUV. So I have back and neck issues and kind of like joint problems. I'm partly disabled. I'm still able to like live my life and all of that, but like it's just something that I have to baby. I kind of have to baby my body at this point, especially when it comes to sleep for some reason. So putting a mattress in the back of an SUV worked for a long time. And the kid would sleep in the tent. By this time she was like old enough, she was fine with that. Or she would have a friend and they would be in the tent together and they loved it. I mean, of course, right? So that's an option. And then this last year for the first time, we actually rented an Airbnb, and that was obviously like clearly more expensive, right? But it wasn't bad. It was like a tiny house basically. And it was on a bunch of acreage. This is when we saw the osprey out on the lake. So it's on a ton of acreage in the middle of nowhere, and I'm totally comfortable in that scenario. You might not be, that's okay, but I'm just throwing this out there as an option. Like if you have disabilities and you need a regular house type setup, that could totally work. I mean, it had a porch, it had all of the things, the stars, the campfire, all of the things. It was still mostly camping, right? But I've just kind of gotten to the point where I need to be in a real bed. So that's what worked for me. But also, campgrounds, like state campgrounds often have other options like a yurt. They might even have a cabin that you could rent if that's like a thing you want to try, a financial possibility. It still definitely beats not going camping. You should still do it. You could also, I mean, again, just throwing options out there. You could rent an RV for a weekend. You could borrow an RV. You could borrow a pop-up camper. I mean, there's so many different ways to go out to the woods. So if you're just starting out and you have young kids and you don't have much money, a tent might be the best option for you. And it's not a bad option. I did it for years. It's kind of like classic camping. You're going to have a great time. So let's talk about who you should go camping with. Do you want to go with or without friends or other family? I mean, that's something to think about. If you are starting out for the first time and you feel like you would be safer if you had friends and family or whatever, and that's a concern for you, I mean, Absolutely, right? Definitely talk somebody into it. Send them to this video, make them watch me. Talk them into going camping with their kids. Y'all can be at the same site. They'll usually, most state parks will allow a couple of different vehicles at one campsite and multiple tents at one campsite. So that's a way to actually save even more money if you wanted to, on like, even though it's not that much per night, like you could have that by splitting it with a friend or something. And the pros of having other people there are your kid is gonna maybe have other kids to play with, or if your parents are there with you, then you're gonna have grandparents to help out. You're gonna make family memories, right? There are some pros to just going alone, just you and your kids, and that's like that real serious, like team building fun, like you're in charge, you get to do whatever you want, you know, the 2 or 3 of you, whatever it is, you get to decide as a team what you want to do, how you're going to go about it, how you're going to solve problems. I like personally to do a mix. A lot of years I would spend some of the time, like a night or two, just my daughter and I, and then we'd invite people, like beforehand, we would invite people to come out for a night or two or whatever. We've also definitely gone just like big group camping with multiple friend groups where we all go out at once, and man, was that awesome. That was so much fun. Like I mean, if you get the chance to do that, you should definitely do that. It was a blast for everybody. I mean, just imagine your kids running around with all of their friends in the woods with the stars, and they had like light up glow sticks, and it was amazing. So, how long should you go out for? I mean, common sense would probably dictate this one, right? Like if this is your first time and you're not sure if you're going to like it, or if you have concerns, or you're like, I don't know, you know, nature is not my thing. I mean, just go for one night, right? Maybe try 2 nights if you're less unsure. If you know you have a really young kid, one night, right? See how it goes. That's gonna be great. They're gonna have a great time. They're gonna get to sleep in a tent for a night. They're gonna have fun. They're gonna get to do all of the things. So make it easy on yourself. Personally, I feel like the longer that I go out, the better, because I just get more relaxed and more decompressed the longer that I'm in nature. And I think most people probably have that as an experience, but you know you best. And again, like the first time, you can always go again. You can always book again the same year, the same season, right? If you just loved it and you're like, oh my gosh, this was great, book it again a couple weekends later or something. So, and the other thing that you want to think about when you're thinking about how long you're going to be out in the woods is you want to leave yourself time to unpack and relax a little bit the day that you get back. So you're going to be putting your camping gear away. You're going to be, you know, kind of cleaning up anything that's left that needs to be cleaned up. It's not going to be a ton of work, but it's going to be a little bit, and it's good to have like a little bit of a cushion. Like I wouldn't come back the night before I have to wake up early and get my kid to school and like go to work myself the next morning. I just wouldn't do that, right? Like I would come back that morning and give myself some time to like get back into the groove. And so something to think about. All right, let's talk about the what of camping, and this is going to be the gear and the food. And this does not have to be complicated. You don't have to overthink this. Please don't overthink this. I have like a camping list. I'm going to see if I can somehow attach it. I don't know. I'm not good with technology, okay? Like I'll see if I can somehow link to that or something, like a PDF document of my camping list. But I'll go through it a little bit with you in a minute too. All right, so I did manage to save this as a PDF, as an attachment that you can click on. So I'm going to include that below. All right, so if you want my cheat sheet for camping, this is it, and make the most of it. Have lots of fun. The gear really depends on how you're camping. So obviously, like what you need if you're going to stay in a tiny Airbnb versus what you need if you're going to stay in a tent is going to be a little bit different, right? But you can just mostly use stuff that you have from your home. You don't have to overthink this. If you don't have a big budget or you don't have a lot of time, you don't need to overthink this. The way that I think about it is I go from room to room in my brain, right? So like I think about the functions of my home, right? The kitchen, you need to cook food. All right. So how are you gonna do that when you go camping? Well, I have a list of things that are kitchen things that I go camping with. Bedroom, that's another room in your home, right? It has a function. That's why it's a room in your home, like because you need a place to sleep. And you need clothing and you need somewhere to store it, right? So those are the things you kind of want to think about, like how am I going to replicate that when I go out camping? And you know, like for sleep, just bring some blankets and your pillows. Like just bring your normal stuff. You don't have to have fancy like gear and like you're going to the top of Everest or something. I mean, you can leave. All right. If you go out there and you're having a terrible time and everybody's miserable, did you know you can just get up and leave and go home and sleep in your own bed? Like, this is why you also want to start out at a local state park, right? Like, just in case, right? I think you're going to have a great time. I've never had a bad time camping. I mean, I'm not saying that everything is always rosy perfect, but the overall has always been great. That's why I'm making this video, right? That's why I'm talking you into it. So, you know, an old pair of sneakers is great for hiking. You don't need anything fancy. You really don't. Okay. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like I said, in the past I've thrown like a lightweight mattress into the back of my SUV that I had at the time, or minivan that I have now. So you can, for the gear that you do need, like if you're planning on tent camping, you can get this stuff for cheap on Facebook Marketplace. And you can just do like a local search, so you're not having to drive forever to go get gear or whatever. And sometimes people probably sell like whole packages of gear, right? Like a lot of stuff that you would need for camping. But like Walmart sells stuff, right? Like the fire roasting sticks, where are they? I have one around here somewhere. There it is. So, you know, this thingy, right? So you're gonna probably want a couple of those, but if you don't have them, fine, you know, you'll figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. So bedroom, most important thing. You want to sleep. You want to get good sleep, or as good of sleep as you can get when you're camping, so that you have a good time, right? So you're gonna need, I'm just gonna assume that you're going tent camping, so you're gonna need a tent, and you're gonna want a tarp of some sort to go underneath it. And that's like water protection and protection for the tent itself, so that the bottom doesn't tear on little rocks or something like that. And most of the state campgrounds have really nice like gravel pads that are already set up for tents and clean and neat, and it's great. You're gonna need some kind of sleeping bag and sleeping pad. And a sleeping pad could just be a bunch of old blankets from your house, right? Or it could be like a foam yoga mat thing, if it's like a thicker foam yoga mat. There's some like blow up type mattresses, obviously. I mean, you do you. For the kitchen, you're gonna want probably some kind of a camp stove. I do recommend this. You can totally get away with not having one, but your life is gonna be nicer and easier if you have some kind of a camp stove, and they just take like propane or butane like cans. It's not hard. It's not scary. It's not going to explode. It's stupid proof. Okay, trust me. Like, they're not, the companies that make these camp stoves aren't going to let people get hurt. Like, you can do this, and bring some kind of lighter or matches or something. A lot of them have an igniter, so you don't even need that. And then pots and pans, here's my advice to you. If you are using a camp stove, you can bring your home pots and pans and it's going to be fine. If you are cooking over a fire, do not use your nice pots and pans from home. They're going to get ruined. Like, they're going to get all kinds of soot on them. The fire heat is uneven. I just wouldn't recommend it. Like, you could probably go to the Goodwill and get some pots and pans there just for camping on a camp stove, and that would be great. But I wouldn't use like nice pots and pans on a campfire. So you're gonna need some kind of utensils, right? Like knives and a big mixing spoon or something. And this, what you need really depends on the food that you bring out. And we're going to talk about the food next, but things you might want: a cutting board, like just a plastic cutting board, doesn't even have to be that big. Some forks and spoons, of course. Some dishes, you don't need many. Plastic dishes are great. They're the best. You can't break them. Paper plates are good. Keeps you from having to wash dishes. The metal roasting sticks like I showed you a second ago. A kitchen towel. Some dish soap. Sponges, like just dish soap and sponge, like you probably already have that. Some kind of a washing basin, and this is helpful even if there's like a nice sink available to you at your campsite, because you can carry all of the dirty dishes over to it if you have some kind of wash basin or something to carry them in or wash them in, just like a plastic bucket or anything. If you want it, you could have a folding table and some camp chairs. You might already have camp chairs if you lived through COVID times. That was, everybody had camp chairs, like at least everybody that I knew did, so that they could hang out together outside. I don't know. So anyways, camp chairs, you can get those used very cheap. Cooler you might want, and it can just be like a fabric cooler, like a cooler bag, like Trader Joe's has those. I'm sure Walmart has them. I don't know. And then some kind of a water jug, and you only really need one because you're going to have water at your site, and so you can just fill that repeatedly. Something that you can put a lid on and close that can hold water. And then bathroom. So with this one, here's my super pro tip for you. Wet wipes are your friend. I mean, I'm gonna do like I have a series planned about like cleaning, and I'm literally gonna talk about the amazing joy that is wet wipes. Wet wipes will change your life. Okay, like that's what I believe. So anyways, bring some wet wipes. Even if you don't have babies in diapers, it doesn't matter, bring some wet wipes. They're so good for cleaning up everything, for cleaning up pans. They're great. Obviously toothbrush and toothpaste, if you need it, hairbrush, hair ties. You probably want to bring some kind of hairbrush, hair ties, whatever, if you want to put your hair up or whatever. Whatever things you need to take a shower, because there's probably going to be a shower there. You're definitely probably going to want shower shoes, some Crocs or something, and a towel to dry off. And then also maybe bug spray and sunscreen. I guess those are sort of bathroom type things, like they're skincare type stuff. And then clothing. So again, like just for your regular clothes, as long as they're comfortable and loose, are probably going to be fine. And you're probably going to want to bring a swimsuit. Obviously, you're going to probably want something comfortable like pajamas to sleep in. And maybe pants or shorts for hiking, whatever you think you want. Maybe one of each so that you can switch out if you want to. T-shirts, a hoodie. I take a hoodie everywhere. I love my hoodies. Hoodies are life. So, sun hats. If it's colder weather or you think it might be cold, and I would check the low nighttime temperature, then you're going to want a warm hat and gloves. Socks, some kind of hiking shoes. Again, this can just be old sneakers, and maybe water shoes. So those are some things to think about with clothing. All right, so let's talk about some other things that you're going to want to bring that maybe don't fit neatly into any of the other categories, but these are going to definitely be important for your camping adventure. Obviously, flashlights, right? Like this is part of the fun. So whatever flashlights you have, lamps, any kind of lamp that runs on a battery. I don't recommend like trying to get some kind of kerosene lamp or something. I mean, if you really want to, go ahead, but like that doesn't seem like fun to me, trying to manage all that. So what does seem like fun are like board games and maybe books and maybe devotionals if that's your thing. And then like cards, like we have these for camping, like this deck of cards that's just for camping that we picked up, and we just keep it with the camping gear, right? So that's like another point I guess that I should make, is keep all your camping gear together, like in a bin or a big old duffel or something that you can easily grab and take the next time that you go, and everything has a place, right? And again, just find some cheap old duffel bag or something to keep all of this in, and you might want like a separate bin for the kitchen stuff or something. But some very basic, simple organization will go a long way to making your life easier when you go out. And that's kind of where the folding table comes in. I think you can get some smaller ones that are pretty cheap. I even have some that are just like outdoor wooden, like lightweight little tables. I take those. Like, it just use what you have, really. Try that first and see if it works for you. All right, so some more things would be like maybe toys if you're swimming, like swimming toys, depending on like if they're going into a lake, right? If you're gonna be like wading in streams and moving water, maybe that doesn't make as much sense. But if it's gonna be a lake or something like that, you could bring that. Extra batteries, always a good idea. Lighters, a small first aid kit. And I don't want you to overthink this, really. Just like think like Band-Aids, right? Just like Band-Aids and bug spray, and like if you I've never even really used it, but like bug bite ointment or whatever, like I don't know. It's just not, bug bites are not like the end of the world to me. It just never come up. It's just not like a big problem. But you might want some of that, or some kind of like first aid ointment for cuts or something like that. It's just a normal life first aid kit. I have a first aid kit in my car because this is the kind of person I am, and I have a first aid kit in my house, and I have a little first aid kit for camping. So don't overthink it. You might want to bring out ice. Usually state parks will have ice that you can buy. You might want to bring out firewood. Usually state parks will have firewood that you can buy, and that'll save you from having to haul it. Usually they'll just have it out there. Sometimes you have to pay cash for this stuff, so bring some cash. To start the fire for your campfire, my recommendation would be that you get some of this, and this is called fat wood. At least that's what it's called where I live. Fat wood, which is a weird name, but it's basically like really resinous wood. It smells lovely. Smells like Christmas. It smells lovely, and it's just really easy to light. So you just light one end of it. You start on one end and you light it, and you just kind of like let the flame catch. And then you can put this under your logs and kind of place it in there, and this will continue to burn. It will burn well, and it will help you get your campfire started. You're gonna want to like run around and gather some like twigs and sticks and stuff like that, or bring maybe some other kind of fire starting materials as well, just to help things get going. I do not recommend dry leaves. They will smoke a lot. So try to stick with just like sticks and like small branches. And most state parks, you're going to be welcome to pick that up off of the ground. They're not going to care around your campsite. They're probably going to be happy if you do that. Never, 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 never take any from a living tree. You'll get in trouble. Don't do that. They don't want you to do that. So don't be like chopping down trees or anything like that. So there are some kinds of camping where you can do that, and that's allowed. I think you're probably not going to be doing that kind of camping, dispersed camping out in like huge national areas. That's a whole other story. You're not doing that with kids probably, and if you are, you don't need this video. So anyways, don't forget to get gas for your car, and then any pets that you have at home, make sure that you have some kind of a plan for them, and that you don't forget to like stock up. We've had so many different kinds of pets over the years, and I've never had a problem camping. You know, just like you would if you're going to leave for a couple of days for anything else, right? Like just make arrangements for them. If you know somebody that can come check on them, that's cool. If not, set them up so that they're good to go for a day or two. All right, so let's talk about food. Everybody's favorite part of camping, right? Like there's something special and magical about camp food, and it's not because it's better. It's not gourmet. It's not at all gourmet, but there's just something magical about it, isn't there? Like there is. I mean, when I go camping, I bring instant coffee. I know, ew. And hot cocoa packets, and I mix them together, and it's the best thing in the world. I don't know why. I would never drink that at home. I don't want that at home. At home, I want my fancy coffee that I make. I definitely don't want any kind of instant coffee. But for some reason, because you're out camping and you're in the woods and you're, I don't know, there's the fresh air, it just tastes good. It's all part of the experience, right? So like, and you really look forward to it. Caffeine in the morning, so important, right, Mom? so, so you're gonna want to bring some kind of cup like this, or any kind of cup that you don't think you're gonna break. And again, you can find these at like Walmart. It's probably where I got this. I don't even know. Like wherever you're gonna find camping gear. You might be able to buy it on Amazon or something. And it's good if everybody has a cup like that. So the thing, if you're gonna drink a hot drink, you need a cup like this, probably not a plastic cup, right? And you probably don't want to bring one of your ceramic mugs, right? Because it might break. So that's the one piece of special gear I would say do try to find, like a metal cup or a camping cup. And you know, they're not that expensive, and it's fun to have that. So if it's your first time and you're not sure and you don't want to really spend even a penny more than you have to, you could bring your ceramic mug. Just bring one that you don't care about, that you can break. It can break. If it breaks, it's not the end of the world, right? So then the other thing is this, like, I think this you have to have. Like, you need to go get you some of these, and this is obviously like not that expensive. I have some other ones that are even nicer that have like an expandable handle thing so that you can really get far from the fire. But this is how you're gonna cook at least some of your meals, at least part of your meals. You're gonna cook this way, right? Like you're gonna put your hot dogs and your sausages on here, your marshmallows, your pieces of chunky fruit that your kids are gonna roast. My friend Brian taught me very recently, like in the last week, that you can roast bananas, and it's amazing. It's so good. Like, you just take a chunk of banana and you put it on one of these and you like caramelize it like over the coals, like near the flames. Oh man, is that ever really good? It's like creamy and caramelized, and I don't know. It's delicious. It's a good like, if you don't want to do marshmallows for yourself, if that doesn't seem like it's appealing to you, or if some of your kids have food allergies or whatever, like, you could try that. And that's kind of like part of the fun, right? Like, he figured that out because he went camping with some nephews who couldn't have whatever kind of sugar is in marshmallows. Like, they had a weird, like an actual dietary restriction. It wasn't just that their parents were like, you can't have sugar. Like, there was some reason they couldn't do it. And so he came up with that idea. And that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, when you go camping, this is this is how you come up with cool, fun, new ideas for your family, right? Like, you really do. So anyways, food. I want you to think boiled water food, like oatmeal, right? Like something that you can make with boiled water, because it's easy to make boiled water. You can do that on a campfire. It's super easy if you bring a camp stove. That's why I bring a camp stove, because caffeine in the morning is important to me and I must have it. So boiling water is how I get it. Either tea, like, you know, like British type tea that I like to drink, or like the coffee hot cocoa mix, which is like camping mocha, which is so good. So you can make a lot of foods with boiling water, right? And the other thing is like things you can roast on a stick, and then things that are ready to eat types of snacks. So what kind of foods would all of this be? This would be like oatmeal packs that you can get. Grits, I think they come in packs now. Sausages, hot dogs. You could use tin foil to cook food. You could put potatoes in tin foil with some butter and some seasonings, and put that, once you have like coals, you can put that into the coals and it will like slowly cook it. I would give it like 40 minutes depending on the size of the potato if you want to try that. S'mores, obviously. Fresh fruit to eat, you know, oranges, apples, bananas. Oranges are a little less good. You definitely want wet wipes on hand to clean up sticky fingers. Peanut butter and jelly, chips, like think like picnic food, right? Eggs that are already hard boiled will last a long time even if you don't have ice. Like, that'll definitely last at least 24 hours. You're gonna be fine. You're not gonna get sick if they're already hard boiled. So one of my favorite meals, I might have a chocolate problem. chocolate is a recurring theme, would be chocolate French toast. And Leela is my daughter, we always do the chocolate French toast the morning that we leave the campsite. And it's fun because I don't know, I did it one year and then we just kept doing it. It became a tradition. And so you can make like these family traditions inside of a tradition. So you have the tradition of going camping, and then you just like layer traditions inside of that, right? And that's like special to our family, and it's just something that we do, and it's a memory that she'll always get to have. So how do you do French toast? You bring out eggs, you make sure that you have some ice, as long as it's even just cold, even if it melts and it's cold water, your eggs are going to be fine. And you could make up French toast, you could do omelets. I like eggs. I mean, I had chickens for years, I had hens for many years, so eggs were a big part of my life. So I was always cooking with eggs. So you're going to figure this out. You know what kind of food your family likes, you know what would make sense for, a day or two out in the woods. But those are some ideas for you. I'm pretty sure you could do a Google search, or I don't know, what do people do now? A ChatGPT search? Is that a thing? I don't know. I've never talked to ChatGPT. I feel too weird. I can talk to a camera. I can talk to people that I know are on the other side of it, but I cannot talk to a robot. So anyways, so those are some ideas to get you started with food. All right. Now it's time to talk about fear. And I could think of 4 fears that might be holding you back or making you like, no way do I want to do that. And so I'm going to talk about those 4. But before I talk about them, I just want to say like the worst thing that could end up happening, and I truly believe this, like probably the worst thing that could happen is you end up having a bad time and you leave early. And that's okay. Did you know that that's a memory of its own? Like you can in the future laugh with your kid about that one time we tried to go camping. I mean, that's the worst thing that could happen, right? And like, trust me when I tell you that you are going to want memories for the future that you can drop in the lap of your teenager. I have a 14-year-old, and boy, sometimes they turn quiet on you, just like that car drive to school, right? I love to just take these memories from over the years and just like drop them in her lap to start conversations, like we'll be driving, it'll be kind of quiet. We're both like not fully with it, trying to get started with our day in the car on the way. And I'll be like, hey, remember that time when we went hiking up a stream and we found a dead animal in the stream? It was a whole thing. It was like a whole crazy situation that happened. Like, I still don't know what that animal was. It was huge. It looked like a hippopotamus. We ran like in the other direction and got out of there, right? Like, I still have no idea what that was. And that's probably not going to happen to you. But like, that was the most gross thing that's ever happened to us out in the woods. And we've been out many, many times. And, it's a funny memory, right? And like, I still get to like, and there's so many good memories too that you just get to like drop in your kid's lap. You want those. So worst thing that can happen, you laugh in the future about how you failed at camping. And that's funny and good too. Okay. So keeping that in mind, let's talk about fear number 1, which I think is animals. All right. Everyone's like, I'm not going out to the woods. Like, are you kidding me? There are bears. Number 1, there's probably not any bears where you live. There aren't that many bears out there anymore, okay? Like, there may be bears. I grew up in a place where there literally were bears. Like, one of my earliest childhood memories was of a bear trying to get into our home when I was a small child. It's like, my mom was baking things and had the windows open, and it was summertime, and yeah, a bear tried to get in. It happened. So like, I'm not saying bears aren't real, but like, I've certainly never encountered one in all the times that I've gone camping. And even before I went camping, before I became a mom, like I would go backpacking for years, right? Like on my own. Like, so obviously I'm comfortable in nature, right? Or I wouldn't have done that. I say I was on my own. I had my dog with me, my dog at the time. So here's the thing that you should really know and understand about animals. The only thing they want from you is your food. Just like that bear that was trying to get into my mom's house when I was a little kid. Like, it was after the apple pie, all right? It didn't want us. It doesn't want anything to do with humans. Animals are not dumb. They know that we have weapons and always have, okay, of various kinds. Like, they know that we are smarter than them. They're scared of us, okay? There are very few situations where animals want anything to do with a person or want to come up to them at all. The problem you're going to run into with animals is your food if you don't store it properly. So if you're camping in a state park, you have a car. That's how you got there. Put your food in the car at night. Okay. Like, just put all your food away at night, and it's fine if you are like a midnight snacker. Like, I don't know who would ever snack in the middle of the night. I mean, I wouldn't. Okay. But like, if that's a problem you have, then like, you can have your little snack bars or whatever in your tent and it's going to be fine. You're at a state park, there's people all around you. I'm telling you, it's probably going to be fine. But if you're really worried about it, don't even have those. Just go ahead and like sleep tight, knowing all of the food is in the vehicle, and you won't have any problems with raccoons, or because they're the ones who are the most likely culprits, and you don't really need to be scared of raccoons. Okay. Like you could totally scare them off. You're bigger than them. They're more like, it's you, you're gonna have your kid, there's gonna be people all around. It's going to be fine. So the other thing I would say about animals is make sure that you have reasonable shoes. And I'm not taking my own advice on this one because I love flip-flops and I pretty much live my life in them, and they don't hurt my feet, and I have a lot of weird like joint muscle issues. I think I talked about that earlier. And flip-flops make my feet happy, and I literally will wear them most of the time, even hiking. But I'm not hiking in like crazy rugged Rocky Mountain regions, okay? I live in the South. So like, if I was gonna do that, I would put on decent hiking shoes. The reason I'm talking about shoes and animals is if you really want to be safe and you're worried about it, then wear tennis shoes or something like that if you're worried about snakes or something like that. Again, I have literally in the South, and I wasn't camping, I was in my own neighborhood, I have come across like poisonous snakes, and I just get out of the way. Okay? Like, they're not coming after you. They're terrified of you. They don't want to die, and you could kill them, and they know it. So just do your best to like, if you know that there are poisonous snakes in your region of the country, just be smart about that. Wear good shoes and don't worry about the rest. You're gonna be fine. One more thing about animals: if you're really worried about it and you just want to feel safe, bring some bear spray. Okay, like just have a can of bear spray, like a little. They're like little. It's like pepper spray or bear spray or whatever. They don't cost that much. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it on Amazon. Just get you some. Okay, you can keep it in your house and it'll help you feel more secure. All right, I get it. You're a solo mom, like you don't want to have to worry, so don't. Just go get the thing. Just get the bear spray, and it works on all animals. Okay, so you're good. All right, let's move on to number 2, which is insects. Use your common sense. Use some bug spray if you're worried about it. I personally don't like bug spray. I don't like the way it feels on my skin. I don't like the smell of it. I don't like applying it. I'm lazy. If I don't have to put it on, I won't. Like, I really won't. But I always still have some, because you never know. You never know at the time of year what little weird things might be about. And if I need it, then it's there. I can use it. And so have some bug spray. Go at a reasonable time of year. Like, if you know that the time of year you're going is like the worst mosquito season of the year, maybe go at a different time, or just be prepared to deal with that, but otherwise just normal bug spray is going to be what you're going to need and what's going to work. All right, so number 3 is weather. This one's pretty simple. If the weather's going to be really terrible, don't go. Just reschedule. You don't want to have a bad time, right? But if it's, going to be iffy, or you think it might rain or something, like, go ahead and go. Like, you can always get into your car, worst case scenario, to get out of the rain, or you could just leave, like, you could just get out of there and go home and laugh about it. But if it's some kind of like major weather situation happening, like you have tornadoes that happen in your area, usually you could shelter in the state park office. Like, they usually have that office area where you're going to go to check in when you first get there. And you can just go there, or you can get in your vehicle, or you can leave, whatever. I don't live my life. We have tornadoes here where I live, and I'm not gonna stop living my life because of that. Like, I just don't anticipate that that's how I'm gonna leave this earth. So, I'm not gonna be dumb about it, but I'm not gonna stop living my life. Like, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to live like that. So normal weather situation would be like it's raining, right? And so in that case, what you want to do is just check your tent. If you're buying a used tent, check it and make sure that it's waterproof. Like you can use a flashlight to get inside and have another person look and see if there's any holes or whatever. You can figure that out. You can, even if it has some holes at the top, like if you put the rain fly on, that would take care of it. So most tents come with a rain fly. That's like a separate tarp-like thing that you put over the top. It's not that, I guess here's the thing about a tent. I would say get a tent that's reasonably easy to put together if you're new to camping. Okay, like do yourself that favor. And there are plenty of them out there that are not that hard to put together. And if you really are not sure, then put it together at home before you go and make sure that you know how to put it together. And while you're at it, check it and make sure it's waterproof. And then what you're going to also want to do is put like a tarp underneath it, because that's going to create a layer to stop moisture from moving up from the ground into the tent. And that one's important. You want to do that because otherwise, like, moisture will get wicked up into your tent, like into your sleeping bag, whatever you have, blankets, whatever. It's going to want to go through, just the way that moisture and water works, like osmosis, whatever. I'm not going to try to be a scientist about this. Just put a tarp under your tent, right? And that's kind of it. That's it. I mean, sunscreen, right? Like a sun hat. You're going to be out, figure out what you might be doing if you're going canoeing on a lake for hours in the middle of the day, in the middle of the summer. Like, bring some sunscreen and a sun hat and be smart about it. So, and that's it. I've never had to leave a campsite because of weather. I've never wanted to leave because of weather. It could happen. I mean, that happens. That's real life. And again, that's just a funny memory that you're going to have in the future. All right, so it's not the end of the world. All right, the last one, number 4, people. And this is the one that I think, some folks are going to be the most uncomfortable with. Like, what if there's bad people out there? This is why you're going to a state park, right? So, like, this is why you're going to go to a state park where there's law enforcement there. I have never felt unsafe or had any issues at all. I mean, again, it's usually like half of the people or more are an older crowd. They're retired folks. Like, they're not threatening anybody. They're not out there to make trouble. They're retired. They're just enjoying their life, Families are just out there with their kids. Like, I've never, I mean, could it happen? I guess. I don't know. I've just, again, this is kind of like, I'm just not going to live my life like this. I'm not going to live my life thinking like I can't do what I want because a tornado is going to take me out, or I can't do what I want because some random person, 1 in a billion is going to come find me at a campsite. I mean, no, they're not. Like, they're not trying that hard. They're not going to go to a state park where there's law enforcement and there's people all around. Like, you're going to be fine. I've never felt unsafe hiking on a trail. Like, I do have a dog, and when we're hiking on a trail, I bring my dog. Maybe that's part of why I don't worry about things, but I mean, could something happen? I guess. But like, if you're at a state park and you're on a trail, there are going to be other people on the trail, like, coming along. Like, you're never even far enough. I mean, there are products for this, right? Like, bear spray works on people too. Bring your bear spray. Okay, like, right? Bring your bear spray. There are like foghorn, like mini foghorns that you can bring, where it like makes an incredibly loud noise if you push the button. Just don't accidentally push the button, I guess. Like, I've owned those just because, like, I think I have one here in my house. I don't even know where it is. You can see how much I care about this. Like, I'm not that worried about living my life. I just don't think that people are like setting out to try to find me. Like, I know that evil people are out there, believe me, I know. But they're probably more likely to get you if you know them personally. Okay, like that's what I worry about. So, um, you know, try it for one night. Again, you can always leave. If you're that worried about it, stay in areas where there are always other people, like the group areas of the park. Like you can do that. You're still gonna have great memories. You're still gonna have campfires. You're still gonna be able to like swim, right? There are gonna be swimming areas with other families. You're gonna have a great time. Please don't let fear stop you from living your life. Please don't let fear stop you from making great memories with your family. That's just, it doesn't even make sense. Please, like, get out, go camping. I love it so much. I love it for my family. I want it for you. I want good things for you. So please, like, give it a shot. Trust me on this one, okay? All right, so have you been camping as a kid? As a solo parent, do you have tips? Do you have anything to share with us? Like, what have I forgotten? Okay, what questions do you have? Like, go ahead and go make use of that comment section. That's what it's there for, all right? And if you want to learn how to create a totally new tradition for your family that's truly yours and like no one else's, not like camping, which anybody and everybody can do, but something totally unique to your family, I'm going to tell you how to do it. And that's what my next video is going to be about. And you can do that with not much effort. All right. So I will see you there for part 3 of this series.